Language acquisition. Talking about the modern language aptitude test, Carroll defines that there are three major components of modern aptitude tests. So there are three major components on which these aptitude tests are based on. The first is the phonetic coding ability, that is the ability to store new language sounds in memory. So the first thing these adults or the secondary school children or the university students would be tested on would be the phonetic coding. The phonetic coding measurement will tell whether the aptitude of the student to learn a language or to acquire a language is high or not. So in order to store new language sounds, that would be a conscious effort to make in order to learn a language. And this would be the first major component in finding out whether the student is able to learn the language in its proper manner, whether the phonetic coding is proper and the sounds which are being made by different alphabets of the language are being used appropriately or not. Much of what is termed aptitude is directly related to conscious learning. So the aptitude would come under conscious learning, and that is why this conscious learning would not be related to the attitude, because the attitudinal factors may be more closely linked to acquisition. So when it comes to learning, it will have to be conscious making effort in order to learn the language, and that will be directly related to aptitude, and that would be how will I make a sound when I use a particular alphabet, and what would be the proper appropriate sound for a particular word. So that means if the phonetic coding is being done, that means the learner is making a conscious effort to learn the language, and this would be measuring his aptitude in language learning. Whereas the attitudinal factors would be based more on acquisition. That is, the learner will be able to acquire the language because of his attitude. If he is open to learning, if he is having a mind in which there are no complexes that he has to learn a new language, he has an attitude that he will be making mistakes, and that is not a threat in his personality. His personality is not threatened because he is going to make mistakes or he will be embarrassed in front of somebody when he speaks in English. So that means these attitudinal factors are more related to language acquisition, whereas the conscious effort to learn a language would be termed as aptitude, which is a conscious effort to learn the language and its principles such as phonetic coding, pronunciation, stress. This he would be doing because he has learned to do it. But attitude would be based on his personality, how ready he is to take from whatever is being spoken around him, and he is listening to English, and that is how he is going to go towards language acquisition.